So this is what the key fob looks like.
Wow.
And so it looks like a little silhouette of the car. And this button here, if I were to double click, would open the back hatch. As I approach the car with the key fob, the car is going to recognize the key fob, unlock the doors, and the handle's going to pop out for us.
Wow.
So who's our first driver?
Yeah, you drive first.
You drive first?
Yeah.
All right. You're going to have so much fun that we're not going to let him drive back. And
So
it's
car
now off.
on?
Car is on.
Oh.
So as soon as we opened the doors, the screens came alive and the climate system came back to the last setting, which was off. We could open and close the sunroof here. So you can look and see it's a very dark tint relative to this. So I can either do this to open, and we'll do that now in case when we come back it's raining. So with the all-glass panoramic roof, you'll get a tiny bit more headroom.
I
But
see.
this glass is so dark it'll block 80% of the heat,
Really?
Oh, I see.
98% of the light, but most importantly it blocks the UVA and the UVB, all the damaging rays. We can actually change on the fly the feeling that you're going to have out of the power steering. So do you want a little stiffer, sportier feel? Not so much. Or look, Ma, I can park the car with my pinky. This setting here for regenerative braking, your foot off the accelerator, you're going to feel immediate braking. And that's us using the motor to slow the car down. Don't worry, you still have a brake pedal.
All right.
Now creep mode, when this is on, what this will do is mimic the behavior of an automatic transmission car. So as soon as we put the car in gear and you take your foot off the brake, the car will start moving a little bit. And if we have creep mode off and we put it in gear, since we're on a slight rolling down, we would roll downhill unless you put foot on the accelerator. So most people are used to that behavior, so I usually leave that on for the test drive. This little button here can flip which screen is going to be on the top and not. Whenever you see a little rectangle in the lower left corner, that'll say make it full screen.
Oh, that's good.
This map is a Google map. We are connected to the internet. We have a very weak Wi-Fi signal from the store. But as we pull away, it'll automatically switch over to the 3G network, just like a phone or a tablet would. Now, if you don't like the satellite view, you can say just give me the map view. And again, since we're connected to the internet, we're getting live traffic updates from Google. Green is good, yellow is, red is forget about it.
And what if the reason the area that there's no internet, then is still navigation system work?
Well, you'll lose the map, and what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pick a set place like at one of the supercharging locations. If you have a route in place, then what you're going to see over there on the left-hand side of your instrument cluster, those are the maps that are stored on board the car. So even if we lost internet connectivity and we lost this map, you still have that map. So we have applications here, we have a web browser because we're connected to with the weak signal it's probably going to not look good. The energy graph will give us an indication of how efficiently or not we've been driving the car. We need to have a driver in the driver's seat, check, there's a sensor. We have the key fob in the car. And now if you watch over here and just tap your foot on the brake pedal for a moment. And now you have your instrument cluster. So that big giant 0 is our current speed. The green bar chart is showing the state of charge with an estimated miles left. And the beeping, of course, says get your seatbelts on, and I'll get mine on in a minute. And that 216 miles of range is saying if you use energy exactly like the EPA 5-cycle test. We have a couple of driver assist features. And I'm going to set it so as soon as you go over the speed limit, you're going to get a little pop-up in your instrument cluster that says, hey, you're going 75. Did you know the speed limit was 65?
And do we have to adjust the speed limit all the time?
No, because this car has a forward-facing camera, and it's actually going to read the speed limit. And you'll see how it adjusts, and that's what this little dotted line is all about. And then the other thing that we have is the lane departure warning. So if you're going over 30 miles an hour and you drift out of your lane, you're going to feel a very slight vibration in the steering wheel, just to remind you, hey,
that's great.
Get back in gear. They're driving no hands on the steering wheel, and it's following the street, adjusting to the speed and stopping behind the parked car. We don't have that on the software yet.
I see.
We're going to be rolling that out over the next several months. So the very first feature that will roll in will be the traffic-aware cruise control. All right, so foot on the brake, and then take the gear shift and flick it all the way up. All the way, there you go. Now all the way up and release.
Oh, yeah.
Now it says we're in reverse, and we are.
Mhm.
Here's your standard backup camera, and here's a standard graphic
Mhm.
that is going to show us, based on the sensors in the car, if we get close to an object.
All right.
And if you get about 36 inches away, it'll count you down in inches.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right, so
Mhm.
let's back up and go out this driveway here. So it comes
Yeah.
very quiet, isn't it? All right, you're doing great. Okay, and then all the way down for drive. Perfect.
Very quiet.
Yeah.
Very, very quiet.
So in parking lots, you want to be very cautious because nobody can hear you.
Right. Right.
But most people are texting with earbuds on, so nobody can see or hear anything.
Right.
All right. And that's just when we're coming down on the driveway, the car just saw the road in front of us, so we're good. So just straighten out, give it some acceleration. Now take your
Wow.
foot off the accelerator. Do you feel that braking?
Uh-huh.
That's the regenerative braking I was
Right.
talking about. All right. How did it feel? Feeling good so far?
So smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have no gear, just one gear. And so there's no shifting. But that regen is kind of weird at first, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
What you'll learn when you get used to it is you'll feather your foot off the accelerator a little bit differently than if you're in a traditional car.
Well, when
And the street is in pretty good shape because it's nice and smooth.
so good, so fun.
Like it.
Yeah, I like it.
So we're going to turn right here, and so this is the right-hand turn lane. This is Wolf Road. Yeah.
Right.
So think of it if you're in a standard transmission car and you were doing downshifting and using engine compression to slow the car down. And did you feel that little zoop, zoop, zoop?
Yeah. Well,
You drifted over the line.
Oh.
So is there anyone behind you?
I don't think so.
Okay, so drift over the line. Don't put the indicator on.
Oh.
Okay, now drift over the line. Well, let's try. Okay. Drift back. Don't put the indicator on. You feel
Oh,
that?
yeah, yeah.
That's the lane departure warning.
Uh,
You were good, and when you put the turn indicator on, the car says, you know what you're doing. I'm not going to warn you, but otherwise, it's going to give you that little. And I can kind of hear whatever is making the vibration. Now on your turn indicator stick, if you want to twist that a little bit, you can turn the wipers on. The other, yeah. Just give it a little. There you go. If you just turn it to the first notch, it's got a rain sensor, and so it'll determine whether it has to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
This is auto.
Yeah. You just have to have it at least to the first notch, and
Oh.
if in your opinion it's not keeping up, you can turn it up a notch and a notch and a notch.
Okay, right.
So again, this is the noisy, bumpy part of 280, as you probably know. So this is as noisy and as bumpy as the car will get.
Still very quiet.
Wow.
And again, we cut you off at 80. But because we're an electric car, electric motor
So
gives you
quiet.
instant speed, very smooth and very
Yeah,
quiet.
it's amazing.
Now, if there's no one behind you, you can even slow down to about 60 miles an hour and then punch it. See how quickly you can go 60 to 80. Because you might need to do that to pass someone at some point in time. All right, hit it. Now, keep in mind, this is not the performance car, and the 60 kilowatt hour car would feel about this.
Yeah.
I drive an 85, but when I drive the 60, I can't tell a difference at all.
Okay.